Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another F1 23 Esports World Championship video. This is round number 8, I think so, I'm not sure. It is Brazil, and as you can see, wet conditions, or at least rain is coming, and that's why we're going out instantly in Q1 here. And we need to be fast because we are at the back of the pit lane. The only ones behind us are Red Bull and Ferrari, of course. So we need to be quick because there's going to be a lot of other cars coming out ahead of us. However, coming out of the pits, I did not have any force feedback. And this is an issue I've had pretty much all season. If you're going from GP mode, which is what we use to warm up, into online, you've got no force feedback loading into the game. So I had to restart my wheel, which is not an ideal scenario here when you're trying to get to the flag as fast as I can. You can see I'm driving over the grass to try and win this race to the flag, basically, or to the line, to the start-finish line. At the same time, I'm also trying to somewhat warm up my tires. I've got a Haas right behind me. I'm trying to find my way through on Thomas into the next left-hander. We're gonna go again, trying to find my way through. We go around the outside because we need to get this lap going because rain is coming imminently. Still trying to somewhat warm up my tires here as it's traffic paradise. Brendan going for it, Ismail trying to go for it. I'm basically onto the gearbox of Ismail here, and I'm trying to get my lap started as soon as I can. And somehow we've gone from the back of the pack to basically being fifth. The fifth car across the line, and that's crucial in a scenario like this because we just need to get a lap in before the rain hits. So into turn 1 we go. Crucially, we cannot invalidate this lap. You can see rain has hit already as we hit turn 1. Tire temperature is down. No grip whatsoever at the very start of Q1. And it's going to be a very, very hard lap. I know from practice relatively to my teammates that I'm on quite low wing, so we're gonna be a little bit down on pace in wet conditions like this. So it was crucial we got to the front of the pack. Now you can see that Ferrari heading into turn 3. It's only 15 seconds behind, but on a grid like this, that's gonna be a massive difference. When usually the entire grid is within 2.5 tenths. In Brazil, it's probably even worse because the gaps around Brazil are usually really small. So every second you start your lap earlier counts. And we have nailed it. Joni Tomla has nailed it even more. 109.499. You can see we are only like 8-9 seconds behind him. And we are 7 tenths slower. We're the slowest actually out of this group of cars that crossed the line first. Alfie Butcher went faster than us. He was the only one behind us that went faster. Thomas and Alfie were the ones that went faster than us from the people that were behind us. But you can see everyone else just went a lot slower. And yeah, perhaps my tires were warmed up slightly less compared to most people around me. But I just tried to get to the front of the grid as fast as I could. Because yeah, that was all that mattered. I knew that I wasn't going to win it on raw pace because I was on quite low wings. I already knew that because that's what I was comfortable with. But if it's starting to rain, you're obviously straight away at a disadvantage. So yeah, I had to make sure to get out there as fast as I could. Unfortunately, our teammate Daniel Bresnay did not manage to get a slick run in, a slick tire run. He was too late. And yeah, then he boxed as well at the end of his soft tire run, which was not going to be enough anyway. But yeah, then Josh Ido, Barry Borman out as well in Q1. And yeah, that is quite important for a championship because we're fighting Red Bull in the Constructors. And then Barry, of course, in contention for the Drivers' Championship as well. We are obviously still in contention for the Drivers' Championship as well. So that is important to us. Even though last race we disconnected from the race in Mexico. Yeah, Danny was really good in Brazil, so it's unfortunate that he went out in Q1 because, as you can see here, Q2 is dry again. And yeah, it would have been nice for me if it stayed wet in Q2 and Q3, but it didn't. And yeah, this is our first new tire run. I don't think I went out at the start of Q2 because it was still a little bit wet. Track was not ideal. As we come across the line, it's P5 on 107.239. We're probably gonna have to do a low 0.1 to make it into Q3. So yeah, make that P6 by the time everyone finish their laps. However, as per usual, the last lap is where it counts, and this is the one we have to nail it. Now, as I said in the past few videos as well, we have been struggling with screen freezes this event, or actually it was just the last video. I didn't have any screen freeze issues in the first 2 events, but in these last 5 races of the championship, it was horrible to try and drive with, especially qualifying. You can see it there as well. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. I can see it. But yeah, you can sometimes just see my screen stop or my game stop for a little bit. You can see it better in the races because you can see cars driving around me that lag forward relative to me, because my game just stops. And you can see there, that cost me a lot of time. And yeah, sometimes on the replay you guys cannot see the screen freezes, but yeah, you could see the one there, I'm quite sure, because I can already see it in my editing software, and that is not full screen. So yeah, into that long right-hander, basically the last real corner of Sector 2, there was a huge screen freeze, and it just cost me quite a bit of lap time. And even though it's only perhaps like half a tenth, it's not the only corner it's happening. And not to mention, even if it was, that half a tenth is just massive. And yeah, it's only P14, unfortunately. So yeah, frustrating one. Because yeah, it just puts us on the back foot every single qualifying. You know beforehand you're gonna have to drive near perfect every corner, because you know 2 corners are gonna be messed up at least by these screen freezes. So it is what it is. We just have to get on with it in the race. And as you can see there, we are gonna be starting on the mediums. Medium soft strategy again. Now, we've done this in Spa and Silverstone, and Brazil, it's an option again. So I was like, you know what, we're just gonna send it. P14 on the grid anyway. What do we have to lose? We have to perform now if we wanna stay in this Drivers' Championship battle. And it is lights out, and away we go. Straight away testing to see if my force feedback is working. There was a restart where we did start on the hards, actually, just like everyone around us, because my wheel was not working properly. And yeah, straight away into turn 1 position up, and we're gonna try and go for another move here into turn number 4 down the inside of Ismail Fassi. He's on the hards. He knows that sooner or later we're gonna get by on those mediums anyway. Not going for a move just yet on Fabricio Donoso. We were too far back, and I didn't want to use any of my battery there to go for it. And I was having a little look down the inside, a little bit of a dive bomb. Fabricio leaves us the space on the inside, and now we got the outside for the next left-hander. Can't quite pull it off. And yeah, I was thinking about going for a move there, but wasn't sure where Fabricio was going to go there in the braking zone. Didn't want to run into the back of him and collide into him, basically. But yeah, now on to the next left-hander. Final corner of this track. Final real corner of this track. We're going to turn on the battery and go for a move again. And you can see the overspeed we're going to have. We're going to go down the inside. He squeezes us a little bit. Not sure why he did that, but up to make that P10, maybe P9. We send it down the inside. It's a little bit too far back this time around. But we're just going to turn on the battery again and try to go for a move on Jet Norgrove. The last hard runner in front of us, and up to P9 we go from P14 on the grid. So great start here, and now we've only got soft runners ahead of us. Just a huge wall of soft runners. So I'm gonna recharge my battery now, and then by the time we've recharged our battery, those softs are gonna start to fall off. So that's my strategy here. Wait until those softs have dropped off, and then we go on the attack. Lap 6 now. You can see we're nearly on a full battery. There are some people up front fighting. I thought there was going to be a little incident. Actually was some contact there. Joni Tormela having a little look. And we are going to turn on the battery. Our tires are better now at this point. We go around the outside. And turning on the battery around the outside of 3 people into the next left-hander. Unfortunately, Nicolas slightly squeezed it onto the grass there. Almost onto the grass. I'm not sure if he were onto the grass. But now he's trying to let Alfie go through for some reason. I'm not sure why. Because we're on a different strategy. But down the inside of Alfie we go then. And yeah, as you can see from this race so far, it looks like we're in a lot lower wings. So that's an advantage obviously on the straight, but a huge disadvantage in the corners. And that means we're going to have higher tire wear relative to the rest of the grid, but a lot more straight line speed. And that's going to make overtaking easier. Again, we're going to turn on the overtake button to go further than Alfie. And yeah, I'm not sure if Alfie even was using his battery there. Up to P7 we go, and up to P6 we go from P14 on the grid. In 7 laps time, we've gained 8 positions. And now we're a little bit down on battery again, but we lost quite a bit on this lap, of course, trying to make those 3 moves. Using a little bit here to defend from Nicolas. And yeah, stay in P6. So again, I'm gonna start recharging my battery a little bit here, so we can make some more moves. And yeah, lap 12 now. We are nearly on 100% battery again. 5 more people ahead of us. All on the softs now. We might see some people that are going to start to box here in lap 12. It would be very early, but it is possible. On to the hards. We're going to go for it on Alvaro Carreton into turn 1. First person boxing. I think that's Lucas Blakely there. We go down the inside of those 2 cars into turn 1. Another double move. And I have to keep it really tight to not make it 3 wide, of course, because that would be really risky. So I kept a really tight line just in case we did go 3 wide. And now we turn on the battery again. Up to P3 we go. From P14 on the grid. 1 free position from Lucas boxing, of course. So we're basically in a net P4. And now I'm just gonna recharge my battery a little bit, because I know these guys ahead of me are gonna start to box. You can see Freddie Rasmussen boxing at the end of lap 13. You can see Thomas thinking about it there. But I think he was just going to do the opposite of whatever Freddie was going to do there. As Lucas is going to be in the net race lead, having to use a bit of my battery there to stay with Thomas, because I think he's going to be on the battery in this next lap, so it's going to be tough to keep up with him, especially considering we're 7.5 tenths back into this middle sector. And yeah, we're on low wings, so even though our mediums are going to be faster, we're going to be losing a little bit of lap time in this middle sector. I'm of course not sure what Thomas is on wings wise, so yeah, maybe he's on low as well, but relative to everyone I've come across so far in this race, we are on a lot lower wings, because you can see all the double moves we made so far, even almost a triple move. But yeah, lap 14 now, 8 tenths back from Thomas. So once again we're going to use the DRS. We're not even going to try and go for a move, even if he stays out on track. We're going to stay behind, because we just need to recharge our battery here. But Thomas does come in at the end of lap 14. You can see in the bottom left of the mini-map, Lucas leading ahead of Freddie Rasmussen. And Jet Norgrove 2.3 seconds back. Nicolas Longuet staying out on track. We don't really care too much about what they're doing behind us. We're going to have better pace, of course, anyway, on those mediums relative to the soft runners. I reckon the hards at this point are going to be faster, so we need to be careful of that. As we move on to lap 18, Joni Tormela somehow still out on track after 18 laps on the softs. And Jet Norgrove now behind us. First hard runner, 1.3 seconds. And you can see our battery is running a little bit low, because I was trying to stay out of the DRS of those hard runners. Because they're going to be boxing earlier, as they have the luxury to move on to the mediums. We have to move on to softs. And yeah, you can see Joni do 18 laps on those softs. That, yeah, is a possibility for us, but we have to push to make up that gap to the top 8, top 9, top 10. Basically everyone who boxed early. So yeah, you can see in the bottom left as well, they're all quite big gaps. You've got Lucas and Freddy, then Thomas and Alvaro, then a single Aston, a single, or actually a Ferrari and a Haas. So they all spread out quite far, and that means, yeah, you have to catch up those little groups of cars. Although I think they might bunch up by the time we arrive there. So lap 19, you can see Jet 1.06 seconds behind us. He has been closing in slowly, but couldn't quite get into our DRS, and he has boxed now. Now we've got Ismail Fassi behind us. He did have DRS on the main straight, so he probably gained a little bit there. And I reckon he's going to be on the DRS, or on the ERS to try and box, catch up to us to get into the DRS. So lap 20, I decided to box 16 more laps on a set of softs, which, as you can see from Joni Tomola, is easily possible. So we're coming in for softs to go flat out till the end. Might have to do a tiny bit of tire saving on the rear, but nothing crazy. Tire saving on F1 23 is nothing crazy. It's basically just don't do all of those little drifts in the tight corners that you do in qualifying, or try to do in qualifying, for example. They are a lot easier to do in the race, but obviously they eat your tires. So out we come in P17. However, that is a net P12, I think so, more or less. And yeah, 76% battery. You can see I'm straight away pushing on those cold tires. And basically 2 laps later, or 1.5 lap later, we are on the back of Jet Norgrove. We're gonna be going on the attack. We need to make moves fast here. Purple first sector, green middle sector. I'm gonna turn on the battery, and this is gonna be a relatively easy move. Now, I was thinking about going for a move straight away on Ulas, but he was a little bit far back, I felt like. But yeah, by the time we get to turn 1, we're actually really close. So yeah, again, we have to make moves fast, but the struggle we have is the battery. We could have gone for a move here on Ulas, and we would have made the move stick, but it would have cost a lot of battery. So next lap, I decided to go on the battery again, and we go down the inside. Ulas not really defending this because he knows that we've got so much more straight line speed and fresher, softer tires, but we go straight away for another move on Wilson, huge. And now we're behind Brandon Lee and Joni Tomola, and then after that we have to close around a 5-second gap to the lead top 7, as behind me Wilson and Ulas are going at it. I didn't want to use any more of my battery because I was down to 36% already again, just because we have to make those moves. So yeah, on the next lap, again on the battery to go on the attack on Joni Tomola and Brandon Lee. Now Brandon Lee not getting any DRS, of course, so he's getting passed by Joni as well. But up to P8 we go. We still got fastest lap as well, which is crucial. A crucial extra point that might make the difference at the end. Now lap 27, halfway into lap 27, we have caught up to the top 7 already. We started P14. We are on fresher softs relative to everyone ahead of us. We are a little bit low on battery though, but yeah, we do have that low wing setup, which we've had great pace with, because usually if you lower the wings, your pace drops, but on this game I've just been so much more comfortable with low wings, relative to high wings, and also relative to the rest of the grid, I think, so relative to my teammates. So into turn 1 we go, and you can see we're not even using any battery, and we're gonna go alongside Simon Weigang into turn 1. That's the straight line speed advantage we have. We need to try and make all of those moves with as little battery as possible. That's the dream. However, that's easier said than done, of course. 9 laps to go. As you can see, me getting a huge screen freeze and losing a bit of time with that to the rest. But that's just what we have to accept at the moment. Freddie Rasmussen up next. Now he's the championship leader, of course. Not having a great race. He dropped through the pack quite a lot. I think boxing that early was not a great strat. Lap 12, lap 13 is too early in my opinion, especially for mediums. I didn't think they were even going to consider that. I thought they would go for hards, but there we go then, lap 28. We're going to turn on the battery again and to go for a move into turn 1. You can see it takes a while for those wings to come into effect, and we go down the inside of Freddy. I was struggling a little bit to make my decision on where I wanted to go, having a little look down the inside of Alfie there, but our tires are starting to fade away as well relative to those guys ahead. And yeah, even if we are faster, we still have to get past us. We are now going for it again on Alfie Butcher into the next left-hander. We're gonna send it down the inside and have a little look, but unfortunately we just don't quite have the engine power anymore, as Alfie has more battery remaining here and we are out. And this is harmed to our progress a little bit, I feel like, and now we just have to recharge our battery because yeah, Alfie has a lot more. I'm not sure what he's on, which is frustrating because yeah, maybe they know what I'm on, maybe they don't, I don't know, but yeah, this has stopped our progress for now. We have to recharge our battery a little bit again. Lap 33 though, and you can see we're on 70% again, going into the middle sector. And we've got Nicolas and Lucas going side by side. Alfie having a naughty little look, trying to find his way through as well. But yeah, these are not really corners you can make it 3 wide at. So yeah, he has to settle behind as well. I'm doing the same. I'm just charging my battery. I reckon Freddy is doing the same behind us. Just yeah, waiting until stuff starts to kick off. You can see Alfie almost making it 3 wide there, having a little look. We're just sitting back here because there's not space to make it 4 wide. There's probably not space to go for an overtake anyway. And yeah, again, we're just sitting back. Alfie going for the move on Lucas. Lucas, of course, on the oldest tires here. And again, I just didn't really see a way of me getting through. I thought actually for a moment there Lucas was gonna dive on Nicolas into turn 4 there. So I lifted a little bit thinking like, what's gonna happen here? But he didn't, luckily, because no way that would have worked, of course. However, we're gonna have 2 laps of racing remaining at the end of this lap. So 2.5 laps to go. And we've just been saving these past 5-6 laps. We've been saving tires. We've been saving our ERS to go for it. And we have the chance to go for it. Lucas and Nicolas have been fighting each other in the past few laps. So I know they're down on battery. I know they're on quite old tires as well. So I'm gonna turn on the battery here. And now we need to catch him at the right moment. It's so annoying. This left little kink kind of sits on our way. You can see Nicolas is flashing already. He is trying to cover us off because he knows that we are a bigger threat to him than Lucas. So again, we're gonna turn on the battery on this next left-hander because we've got it anyway. And now you can see Nicolas trying to give slipstream to Lucas. However, Nicolas pushes us onto the grass, and he made a double move as well. And yeah, as you can imagine, that's obviously gonna be a penalty. I'm not sure why he was being so aggressive there, because I was gonna get past no matter what with the wing level and fresher tires and ERS advantage. And now he's gonna get a 3 or 5 second penalty, and as you can see the train behind us, that is gonna drop him out of the points. He did the same move early on in the race as well. It's just not smart to do this, because instead of losing 2 points now, he's gonna lose 12 or 10, whatever way you look at it. So yeah, into the final lap we go then. We've lost a position to Freddy. We're just gonna sit back here trying to get as close as we can into turn 1. Lucas and Freddy going side by side. Freddy playing the long game as well, of course. And these two are going side by side. We're gonna turn on the overtake button. We've got slightly more ERS than them, and we're gonna squeeze through on the outside. Freddy does not push us onto the grass, and we move up to P5. Leave just about enough space to Freddy on the inside, I think so. And you can see our tire wear indicator has just popped on. We're still under the second tire drop off, as I should say. And yeah, you can see our tires are not gripping up anymore on this lowdown for setup. We've got no ERS remaining. Neither does Freddy, to be honest. So I think we're going to be safe onto the final straight with or without DRS. So yeah, we're going to finish this race in P5. But after the penalty of Nicolas and Alvaro got 2 3-second penalties as well, we're going to be coming home in P3. And yeah, I think we would have had a slight chance of winning this race if we didn't get pushed off in turn 4. A slight chance, of course, it's always easy to say that afterwards, but yeah, our race got ruined a little bit, or we actually got put a little bit on the back foot there with Nicolas pushing off in P4, but in the end of the day, he hurt his own race more with it than ours, because we got that position back. And yeah, at the end, it is what it is. P5, I think we got fastest lap in the top 10 as well. So we got 16 points from this one, from P14 on the grid. That's a great result. Danny Beresne, our teammate, finished P12 on track, but also jumped to P10 after penalties. So yeah, we are picking up some decent points. 17 points as a team, 16 points for me with that fastest lap in the top 10. So yeah, great result for us after a poor qualifying. And yeah, it's just damage limitation with these screen and game freezers, whatever you want to call them. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.